What's going on, everybody? Um, just here again. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I made like two other videos today, and they were not very, I guess you could say, popular. I don't even want to say popular, but they weren't very positive videos. And, you know, well, I just ended up not wanting to post it again because I actually got really upset in the video because of something that happened earlier. And, I just thought to myself, while I while I do think that it's good to express yourself sometimes, um, your anger, your happiness, your rage, your frustration, your bliss. Um, I just decided that I didn't want to put that kind of energy out in the universe right now, because right now I feel like right now is a very crucial part of my life, just in how I choose to deal with things going forward, and it's really a learning process for me because I'm really having to really practice and focus really hard on not letting certain experiences, mentally take me back to, you know, another reality basically, because it's right there, and is really trying to grab me and hold me and keep me in a certain way of thinking, and to have a negative mindset. And I don't want to go back to being that person again because I've worked so hard on just you know teaching myself how to open up and teaching myself how to trust people again, and see goodness in the world, and um really be happy to be here and be alive. And I'm not saying that I'm fully there or arrived at any point yet, but I've come a long way in just where I was at mentally not so long ago. When I was in my apartment, I mean, really before that, I mean, like, for a long time I've been just in a really dark place. I realized for years I've been in a really, really dark place. And I don't want to say that, well, I guess you can say metaphorically, like, this video is kind of like symbolic of that, because um this video was dark and all you hear is my voice. But for a long time I was in a really dark place, and I'm still getting out of that place. Like, I'm crawling out of that hole, and it's a long process because I was in that dark hole for a long time. I mean, really, most of my life, I'm going to be honest, most of my life I've been in a very dark place. Even when I was younger, when I was living at home as a young, teenager, I've just been in a dark place. And I'm not saying this to like get sympathy. I'm just being honest, and I'm being transparent. There hasn't been a lot of times in my life where I've just been, I would say, probably started like that I can consciously remember, like around like high school. Like, I would say maybe eighth or not. Wait, that's middle school. High school starts at what? Ninth. Okay, ninth. Yeah. Okay, so ninth. So yeah, I would say like it started like in like ninth grade. When I hit high school, I would say like it that's when it hit. Like right around like right before my freshman year. I was just always down. You know, I was never even when I was in my religion, as a Jehovah's Witness, I wasn't a really happy. As a young kid, I was pretty happy, but I was younger. I didn't have the same things, on my mind. But I would say like I said, like ninth grade on up. from that point forward, I can't really remember just mentally just feeling okay. You know, even when I was I'm part of my religion. I remember like just always like staying home because I just I don't know, man. And my mom, she would be like, do you want to go out and hang out with them? But then sometimes I kind of felt like my brother and his friends. You know how your older brother, like sometimes he'll get around his friends and be trying to act like you know they just you know what I'm saying. Not to talk bad about them, but this is when we were younger. We were younger. So I love my brother now. I mean I did back then too, but we were younger, a little bit different mindset. But back then I kind of felt a little type of way because that kind of stuff kind of went on here and there. So, but I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Like I said, we were younger and we weren't as mature. So but I'm just speaking generally in a sense of like I've never really been in a good mental place, and I didn't really realize that until now and recently, so like I've been saying, um I've been crawling out of this dark place for a very long time. And as I've gotten older in my adult years, um, that darkness has gotten way, way more intense. And, whenever you're a young guy and you're trying to figure out life. And even like when I got my first apartment, I was, this is when I left my religion. Ever since I got my first apartment, and this is like around the time where I had basically ended up leaving my religion, even though I didn't really intend to. It just kind of happened that way. Um, like, you know, ever since then, you know, even with that whole, questioning existence and God and, just really just kind of feeling lost because when I left my religion the way that I did, and I didn't leave it, I was basically expelled, basically, for asking too many questions, essentially. Um, but when that happened, and then kind of just basically being homeless, not basically, I was homeless when that happened. And very, very, you know, suddenly I found myself out in the world having to figure out, you know, how to live on my own and just really feeling like I didn't know what the fuck to do or how the fuck to do it. But suddenly I'm just out here and like super unprepared, super, you know, uninformed about life in general. And I'm just, and don't get me wrong, I was past 18. I was like 21. So I wasn't a kid, but it just happened, it all happened so suddenly. And, I was definitely not prepared to move out. And like I said, when it happened, it was just like, okay, uh all right, life. Okay, I'm an adult now. I mean, I was an adult, but like it didn't really hit that I was an adult until I was basically homeless and I had to figure out somewhere to go. So, I think back on those times and just from there, from when I was younger, I've never really been in a good place, and I've never really been really stable, and this video got way off topic. It was supposed to be about skateboarding, and it is about skateboarding. So I want to get back on topic. I don't know how I got so far off topic. That's crazy. But I do that a lot, y'all. When I start talking, I'll start going into the moments and the memories of what I'm talking about, and then I'll get pulled into it because a lot of emotions and feelings start to come out when I talk about certain things. And then sometimes I'll trigger myself because I'll like have like a flashback of a time when, like, just now I was, having like a memory of, like, when I first got my first apartment, and just how that felt, and how, you know, um vulnerable I felt during those times. And man, it was a different time. But what this video is about actually is skateboarding, and why I feel like I do it, and why, I think it's really, really good, even spiritually. I'm going to explain. Okay, I'm not saying everybody should do it. I'm just saying, like, for some people, it's for me, skateboarding is a lot deeper than the surface appearance. You see guys on the board, flipping it around and stuff, and there's that, and then what there's also, and this is just the way my mind thinks about it. So I'm not saying this is what it is in depth, but this is just one way that I see it. Um, so let me just, you know, talk about this best I can, or express the best I can. So skateboarding, why do I like skateboarding? What made me get into skateboarding? So when I was in high school, I used to always see the guys, you had the skateboard guys, the skateboard dudes. And I used to always think, man, that looks pretty fun, looks pretty cool. And I don't know why, but kids in high school will like make fun of like skateboarders. I'm like, dude, like, why are you making fun of people that skateboard? Like, it's actually pretty badass what they can do on those things. Um, so I've always been fascinated with skateboarding. I've always, thought it was a cool thing, even before I even, decide even thought about actually trying to do it myself. So back then it was just, I just had memories of seeing, the skateboarding kids. And then fast forward to, hmm, I would say maybe 2016, 17. Um, I don't know. I forget exactly how I actually wanted to, or how I actually physically started doing it. I think I just started like watching videos on YouTube about skateboarding, and um I just thought, man, that looks really fun. That looks so cool. Just the way that, and I've always watched like X Games here and there. And not only that, but I've always been into like the Tony Hawk video games, like even like back in like the PlayStation 1 days. And like, well, yeah, basically for me the PlayStation 1 days. I did play it on PlayStation 2, I think, also. Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and Skate something, like the skate game. So I definitely did play skateboarding games. I definitely remember being very, very interested in it back then too. And subconsciously I think that I really wanted to try it back then, but back then it was a little bit different because I cared a little bit more about what people thought about, me doing it. And then also too, like, back then, and this isn't a long time ago, but at least when I was younger, like, I knew I wanted to try it and do it, and it looked awesome and fun. But I also cared, like, what people would say. And like I said, this, I was younger, because back then, like, black guys that skateboarded, it wasn't as common as it is today. I mean, black dudes did it, but it was more like a thing where, if someone of the color, this is back when, people were less open minded back then. If a black guy got on a skateboard, like, oh, you're doing that white people shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the kind of mindset I mean, a lot's changed in a very short period of time. But like, I think probably back then I was afraid that I would get laughed at or something, even though I really wanted to do it. So, you know, and I'm talking about in real life. So, like, even like when I bought the Tony Hawk video games, my brother used to have, like, little dumb shit to say, because he was like, man, why you playing that for, man? And so I mean, it was a lot. People were like a lot more closed minded because it wasn't as common to see black guys, actually skateboarding. Like I said, a lot has changed in a very short period of time. So that's kind of like a little brief history of like how I kind of like got into it,
or wanted to get into it from like actually starting to try it out and, you know, go as far as to get a skateboard and, you know, just kind of just build very basic, small, tiny skills up until, you know, um, and I'm still building, you know, I'm still learning, you know, it's never anything. But you know, I'm going more and more and I'm getting more comfortable on a board. And the biggest thing is just getting comfortable and really like learning the board and making a board. To me, I try to like in my mind think about the board as like a second home. Like I know it's not my home, but it's just like just learning how to feel, you know, like that board is a very, very comfortable, familiar space. Like just learning how the board reacts when I'm just, you know what I'm saying? And that just comes with just skating and just, you know, just like I said, learning how to make the board feel like your home. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't really say it the way I want to say it, but that kind of idea of just learning how, you know, like I said, how the board responds when you shift your weight or, you know, all kind like I said. And I'm learning that I really just gotta, like I said, just really learn like the physics of the board, like just everything that you can know about that piece of wood with wheels on it, you know. And that it's a process that, you know, it's something so simple, you know, a board on some wheels. But I wanted to say this about skateboarding. I think one of the beautiful things about skateboarding is it teaches you a lot of different things. And I think this is subconsciously, this is one of the reasons why I really do love skateboarding and respect skateboarding, and why I chose to actually learn this art, you know, because it is an art. It's a form of art, definitely. It is because of all the things that skateboarding teaches you. And a lot of these things that skateboarding is teaching me is things that I'm having to learn in like life. You know, to I'm having to learn how to how they say it, follow the process, or um accept that things have a process to them, and accept that, you know, you got to dedicate yourself to certain things. Like with my business, I don't know how to do this shit, man. But there's a process to starting a business. There's a process to learning how to do a business. There's a process to learning anything. So with skateboarding, there's a process of, you know, doing these tricks over and over again, of learning the board, learning, because a lot of skateboarding is physics. It's physics. So you're kind of learning in physics too when you skateboard. But there's a process to, you can't just hop on a skateboard and be looking like Tony Hawk, you know? And I'm not gonna lie, when I first got into it, you know, I had this idea that, you know, I'm gonna hop on this board and be doing these really awesome, crazy tricks. And, you know, I don't know if there's a skateboard guy, but if there was a skateboard guy, he would probably say, "Oh, not so fast," you know, young Padawan or some shit like that. Man, you gotta earn it. Like skateboarding, like you have to earn. Like when you can do something really cool and really awesome, you gotta earn that shit, man. You gotta earn it. There's a process to it. It's a lot of failing in skateboarding. There's a ton of failing in skateboarding. There's a ton of trying and trying and trying and trying again and trying again. And then once you finally get a trick, you gotta perfect it. You gotta master it. So it's not just doing something, but it's because, you know, it's mastering it. You know what I'm saying? So it takes a lot, a lot of understanding that there's a process to becoming
the kind of guys that can do some of these amazing things that you see, you know, on the skateboard. So it's teaching me that there's a process to things. It's also teaching me dedication. Dedication. So subconsciously, I feel like skateboarding is teaching me how to dedicate myself to something, how to be passionate about something to where you're dedicated to it and you're passionate about it at the same time. And like it's teaching you that, hey, listen, if you really want to get good at this, you really want to master this, you got to be dedicated to this. So it's like you can't just go like once in like a month or 2 months. Like if you really want to get good at this, if you're really passionate about it and you really want to get good at this, you got to dedicate yourself to this art. You got to dedicate yourself to this process. And so since I'm genuinely passionate about it, it's easy to dedicate myself to it because it's like it's something that I'm interested in and it's something that I get excited about, you know? So I take that back into life, like my business. Like I gotta really dedicate myself to growing my business. I have to dedicate myself to this brand. I have to dedicate myself to learning certain things. I gotta be totally dedicated to it, you know? So it's teaching me how to dedicate myself to my brand and my business and really be really in it, you know, really be in it all the way. So dedication. Another thing, this is kind of the same thing, commitment. Commitment is the same concept. So I'm committed to getting good at skateboarding. I'm committed to, you know, just the whole process of, also using this hobby and basically learning how to monetize it. Because at some point in time, I'm going to basically try to partner up with some of the guys out there and, offer them some money if they can basically, and probably I'll probably even end up giving them some free gear if they would be willing to allow me to get some footage for like advertising, and if they would basically like help me to advertise my brand, I get them some stuff and I, basically make like videos of like them, skateboarding with my skateboards and wearing my shirts and stuff like that. If we can agree on the, price and everything like that, like I'm gonna probably end up trying to do something like that soon. And after I get my skills up, I'm gonna be out there in some of the videos, but I'm not, that skilled yet. So I'm a for right now, I'm gonna, and I don't wanna keep saying stuff like that because, it's not good to say, so I gotta stop saying I'm not that good yet, but I'm gonna be on there, but I'm gonna wait until I've built my skill set up in skateboarding to a certain point until I start, getting footage of me. But so starting out, I will be partnering, trying to create some relationships out there, get them some money, get them some free gear probably, and so they can help me to advertise the brand. So that part's coming soon. But anyway, so I got to talk off topic again. But so yeah, so it teaches you dedication and commitment. It also teaches you persistence. Like I swear, like I was at the park tonight and I was practicing a revert and ollie, and I'm like I'm gonna get this muscle memory down if it kills me, so um most of the night tonight I was just going up the ramp and going back down, doing the revert and then doing the ollie on the way back. I mean, over and over and over again. And every time I do it, I'm trying to like perfect it. I'm still trying to like I know how to do a revert, but I'm trying to do a revert where it's basically quicker and smoother. I see some of the guys do it and they do it so smooth, and I'm trying to learn how to do it with more control and more ease. So I was working on that tonight. And like I said, it's just doing it, going back and forth over and over again until your body knows exactly how to pop that wheel up, exactly how to shift your weight, exactly how to distribute your weight at what point, at what time, because it's not just weight distribution, it's timing, it's weight distribution, all that, and once you bring it all together, it's beautiful in my opinion. It's like it's a beautiful art. So um yeah, persistence. Just learning any trick that you're trying to learn how to do, it's learning it, then it's mastering it, where it's damn near effortless. Um so I liken that to life. I gotta be persistent. Same kind of the same concept as dedicated, but I'm consistent about every day. I try to make sure that I do something, or most days, for my job. It shouldn't be a week that goes by where I'm not working on the design or looking into, okay, what's the next step. I should always be persistent about working on my craft, working on my business, getting better at skateboarding, trying to develop relationships with people that can help me, promote the brand and, really put myself out there the way that I want to. So persistence, 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 persistence. Like, you fall a lot in skateboarding. You have to be persistent in life. We fall a lot in life. Shit happens, things happen. We have to be persistent with everything. So yeah. Um and then there's patience. There's patience. So to get good at skateboarding, the process is part of the process is patience, right? So I thought that I could just rush into skate in the beginning. I thought that I could just rush into skateboarding and rush my progress in skateboarding. And don't get me wrong, some people do progress quicker, but other people, it takes a lot of practice, a lot of time, a lot of patience to build your skill up to where you really do have some skills in it. But it takes patience. It takes going out there and having the patience to put the time in to learn this piece of equipment and to learn this art and to learn the physics of the board and how to move and shift your weight. You can't rush it. You can't. I'm learning too. You can't rush the process. You can't rush getting good at skateboarding. I know you want to look cool. I want to look cool. I want to be able to like make cool. Like I would love to be able to but if I was able to do skateboarding honestly and be really good at it in a short period of time, would it be as amazing as it is without me putting that dedication into it? Probably not. I mean, it would still look cool, but it wouldn't even be like as big of a thing because like I had to like really put some time into getting this good, man. I had to really like put that work in to get to this point. Y'all don't know. So it teaches me patience. And I'm learning how, even with my business, you know, I can't rush it becoming profitable. I got to just build it from the ground up. And I got to have patience with that. I have to. I can't rush the whole process of, my brand being worldwide. But one day my brand will be worldwide. I will be just like Vans and all the other big skateboarding brands. Um, so, and I gotta keep talking like that. I gotta keep because the only thing that makes something real is your belief in it. Outside of your belief in it, it's not real. It doesn't exist. So I know that I gotta walk like and talk like and really be that type of being where like I bring something into existence. But again, yeah, it takes patience, and it takes discipline. It takes discipline. It takes discipline in a sense of you really gotta want to be good. You really gotta want to be good. I want to be good at skateboarding. I want to be amazing at skateboarding. So even when I get frustrated and when I can't do something, instead of just kind of getting annoyed and just quitting, I got to say, you know what? No, I want to be good at this. If I ever have a kid, I want to pass down to my kid. I I want to discipline myself in push past, feeling frustrated and even discouraged that I can't, understand how to do certain things. I want to push past that. I want to be disciplined in learning how to do this and getting good at it. I want to be out here, you know, if I'm not at work or at the gym, I want to be skateboarding. I want to push myself to stay committed, to stay dedicated, to stay persistent. You know what I'm saying? Discipline. The whole art of skateboarding, I'm disciplining myself to be someone that truly, truly masters skateboarding. So anyway, there's this one too. And then there's fear. It teaches you how to conquer your fears. It teaches you how to conquer your fears. Now, you have to get to that point to do more dangerous things, but I'm always pushing myself now. Skateboarding makes me push myself. It makes me push past my limits. It makes you push past your limits. It makes you push down things, push past things that you don't think are possible. I didn't even used to be able to push myself on a skateboard without falling down. You know, it helps you to conquer your fear. So in life, there's so many things I'm afraid of. Relationships, starting a business. I'm afraid of failing. I'm afraid of just everything, really. But like skateboarding is teaching me do it anyway. Try it anyway. And if you fall, just keep getting back up. It could be a relationship. It could be heartbreak. If you got your heartbreak, okay, you afraid to get hurt? Still do it. Still keep going. Still keep living your life. Still keep living. Still keep trying. You know? And you keep getting back up and you just keep getting back up and you keep falling and you keep falling and you keep getting back up and you keep getting back up and you keep getting better. So it's like life for me. Like I need skateboarding right now because it's like teaching me, it's helping me get through life. Just it's like I say, it's a very spiritual thing. It's not just I know people see it as oh man, it's just skateboard, but like no, like it's a lot deeper than that, man. It's so much deeper than that. At least for me it is. And I think for other skateboarders it is too. They don't say that, but I kind of just sense that. And maybe not consciously, but subconsciously, I just look at certain things like that. So, I mean, there's a lot of other things, but this is one of the reasons why, you know, subconsciously I think I like skateboarding so much, and it's just cool and it's awesome and it's badass. And there's a lot of other spiritual type things behind it. How a lot of it's got a lot to do with feeling and physics and a feeling you get, you know, some call it the flow. It's called different things, but it's just a feeling of being free, you know. And like the skate park's one of the only places I feel like I can go where a complete stranger is just super encouraging. I was at the skate park the other day. I think I was practicing going up and down on the half pipe, and I was practicing pumping, which I forgot to practice that tonight. Pumping is when you basically kind of get the motion of going back and forth on the half pipe. Um, and pumping helps you to basically go up and down. You're basically rocking your weight from the front of the board to the back of the board to keep you steady as you go up and down the half pipe. They call it pumping. And it's a really good leg work. It's a really good leg workout too, by the way. But like I was saying, like the skate park is one of the only few places that you can go where complete strangers will be really, really encouraging. Like I said, I was at the skate park the other day practicing pumping, and this random guy just came out of nowhere. He was like, "You got it, just keep going." Just like I feel like everybody at the skate park really wants everybody there to really master getting good. Like when I see somebody practicing a trick, I get so excited when I see them finally land something that I just seen them try like 30 times in a row. You know what I'm saying? I get happy for them. And I don't even know them like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's weird. But yeah, so that's skateboarding for me. That's a really, you know, random video about skateboarding, but I that's why I like it. This is why I'm sticking with it, and I'm dedicated to it. So anyway, I'm going to end it here. Later.